lot of established communities, city downtowns, older suburban neighborhoods, rural villages, are very rich in culture and heritage and social capital, but they lack economic opportunities for residents. We've all seen the damage that abandoned, blighted properties can do to a community. A contaminated property, or even a property that is thought to be contaminated, can make redevelopment next to impossible. Jersey City has a long and storied industrial past and was once known for its factories and for products that were household names: American Can, Emerson Radio, Colgate toothpaste, and Dixon Ticonderoga pencils. But that rich history left contamination behind, as in so many other communities around our country, and Jersey City found itself with many neglected and abandoned properties. Without redevelopment opportunities, communities, even those with deep historic roots like Jersey City, can eventually wither. Brownfield's revitalization is about investing in these existing communities rather than in new developments on the outer fringes of metropolitan areas. And that's what EPA's Brownfields program is all about. Grants awarded by EPA's Brownfield program provide communities across the country with an opportunity to transform contaminated sites into community assets that attract jobs and achieve broader economic development outcomes while taking advantage of existing infrastructure. For example, Brownfields grants have been shown to increase local tax revenue. A study of 48 Brownfield sites found that an estimated $29 million to $97 million in additional local tax revenue was generated in a single year after cleanup at these particular 48 sites. This is 2 to 7 times more than the $12.4 million that EPA contributed to the cleanup of these sites. So we are leveraging a lot of money, and a lot of this money is coming from other sources as well, like our partners who are so vital to this, the success of these projects. Also, these projects increase residential property values. Another study found that property values of homes near revitalized brownfields increased between 5 and 15% following cleanup. Today, nationwide, EPA is announcing $64.6 million in new investments in communities selected for funding across the entire U.S. in 41 states, 1 U.S. territory, that's Puerto Rico, and 4 Indian nations. And these are coming out through our Brownfields multi-purpose assessment and cleanup grants. By the way, these communities that are selected for these grants this year include a very geographically diverse set of communities. It's 149 communities all across the country in all 10 EPA regions. But the communities are also diverse in type. 19% are in urban areas, like this one. 81% are in non-urban areas. These are defined with a population of 100,000 or less. And 40% of the grants will go to the smallest of communities with populations of 10,000 or less. And we're also pleased, by the way, to have many new communities that have never received Brownfields funding before. 40% of the selected communities are receiving Brownfields funding for the first time. Jersey City is not among those. Jersey City has been a very, extremely capable recipient of grants, and they have managed incredible developments with this money over the years, including the Berries Lane Park that you see right behind you here. Now, 108 of the selected communities have identified sites or target areas in census tracts that are designated as federal opportunity zones. And what that means, an opportunity zone is an economically distressed community where new investments, under certain conditions, may be eligible for preferential tax treatment. This also includes Jersey City. Today's announcement also includes a selection for the first time of our new multi-purpose grants. And these were authorized by Congress in 2018 as part of the BUILD Act, which reauthorized EPA's Brownfields program with, I might add, strong bipartisan support. Last year, Congress reauthorized the statutory authority for the Brownfields program. Some of the changes included expanding the list of entities that are eligible for Brownfields grants, increasing the limit of Brownfields cleanup grants from $200,000 to $500,000, and adding authority for these multi-purpose grants that we're announcing today, which will help communities address and clean up more complex brownfield sites. These multi-purpose grants provide funding for communities to conduct a range of eligible assessment and cleanup activities at one or multiple brownfield sites in a target area. Communities participating in the Brownfields program have been able over the years to attract $28 billion, that's billion with a B, in cleanup and redevelopment funding after receiving EPA Brownfields funds. Now, I'm not suggesting that EPA has provided all this money. Again, the point of the EPA grants is to give a jump start and to help leverage funding from many other sources. Our Brownfields funding has in fact attracted also an estimated 150,000 jobs in cleanup, construction, and redevelopment in these same communities. In fact, EPA's Environmental Workforce and Job Training Program has resulted in many of the jobs, these same jobs, being filled by people who live near the site that's being cleaned up and who are chronically underemployed. Through this program, more than 6,600 people have been trained for careers in the environmental field, with over 4,000 of those people finding full-time employment. And these are good jobs, too, with an average hourly wage of over $14. This is the type of opportunity that comes with a Brownfields grant. Jersey City, like communities all around the country, will benefit from the support a Brownfields grant provides, and the city's rich industrial history includes it being home to part of the Morris Canal, which was New Jersey's first industrial transportation system. It was built in the early 19th century. This 102-mile canal stretched across 6 counties in New Jersey and once carried iron and coal between the Delaware and the Hudson rivers. As I said, Jersey City has long been successful in using programs like EPA's Brownfields program, in addition to state programs, to restore communities while respecting the city's past. So I'm pleased to announce today that EPA intends to award an $800,000 multi-purpose grant to the Jersey City Redevelopment Agency to clean up hazardous substances. The funding will be used to conduct 27 environmental site assessments. That's always the first step, is to figure out what is the problem, what has to be cleaned up. At least 4 cleanup plans will be developed with this money, and there will be cleaning up of sites in the target area. The grant continues the extraordinarily good work that the city has carried out here over several years, right at Berry's Lane Park behind us. Specifically, this funding that we're announcing today will help continue the 8.5-mile Morris Canal Greenway, which is a proposed pedestrian and bicycle pathway traversing the entirety of Jersey City along the footprint of the historic Morris Canal. Grant funds also will be used to support critically important community outreach and update a Brownfields inventory of sites along the proposed path, and that inventory will help, I am sure, inform the city as it develops additional grant proposals in the future, and we hope to see some of those. To date, EPA has awarded Jersey City and the city's redevelopment agency over $5 million in Brownfields grants, including, I believe, $2.5 million or $2.6 million specifically for this Berry's Lane Park project. In New Jersey, EPA has also awarded nearly $50 million throughout the state to support Brownfields efforts in communities. So I congratulate Mayor Fulop and Jersey City and the redevelopment agency and all the communities selected for funding today. We look forward to hearing about your great work and the impact it's having on your communities. Thank you very much.
We've tried in Jersey City to be a leader nationally when it comes to green initiatives and environmental policy, and you just need to look at what we're doing in just June alone. Yesterday, with the help of the state, we awarded a $2 million grant to start to transition our municipal fleet over to electric vehicles. We'll be using electric garbage trucks. Later this month, we'll be installing solar panels at our public works facilities. We'll be starting our ban on plastic bags throughout Jersey City, June 28th, later this month. And today's another good day with another grant for $800,000 so that will help us further our initiatives around brownfields. This is important to Ward F. It's important to Jersey City. We're excited and thankful for that. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to the councilman for Ward F, who's joined us today, who represents this area, and that is Councilman Jermaine Robinson. So, just say thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is really, really, really important to not just Jersey City, but Ward F. The connectivity we've been working on and fighting for over the last few years is to make sure that we build one great Jersey City. I think this is just another step in the right direction on what we plan to do to make Jersey City the best mid-sized city in the country.
For this grant, which will enable the JCRA on behalf of the city it's a multi-purpose grant to carry out the planning, assessment, and remediation of the 8.5-mile stretch of the Greenway that runs along mostly the west side of the city. As you've said, the Morris Canal was built in 1825, and it stretched through 6 counties in the state, and ending here in Hudson County in Jersey City, and delivered the coal that enabled the city to power the railroads that ran down in what used to be in the downtown. So it's fitting that we are here in Berry Lane Park because it's quite ambitious, I think, for these 6 counties, including the city of Jersey City, to undertake this endeavor to acquire and remediate and construct the Greenway and resurrect the old Morris Canal into a beautiful open space. But we did it here in Berry Lane Park, and of course we didn't do it alone. We did it with generous help from both the EPA and the DEP. And we did it, the agency carries out the city's policy objectives. So the agency is really just kind of like the construction manager. And we could not have done this park without the help of many people in the city, but most especially Mayor Fulop and his vision for sustained open green space in the city of Jersey City. So we're very excited to get started. The 8.5 miles is broken up into 14 segments, some of which has already been acquired, remediated, and constructed, including the part that runs through the park here. But we have much to do, and this grant will enable us to remediate the remaining parts of the Greenway and carry us forward to carry out the mayor's vision. And with that, I would like to thank not only Councilman Robinson, but the JCRA's commissioners, who also Chairman Rivera, who's a councilman, Danny Rivera, and Denise Ridley, as well as some of our other partners in the city, like the BA, Brian Platt, the city's engineer, Joe Cunha, the HDC director, Anicia Cialoni, and our environmental professionals at Brownfield Redevelopment Specialists, the Alimo Group, but especially Jersey City Together, our community partner who's worked with us to help design the Greenway, and thank you.
DEP has prioritized the revitalization of New Jersey's urban communities since day one of Governor Murphy's administration, including Jersey City. And we understand that cleaner communities provide for stronger communities. And that's why the DEP is committed to brownfields cleanup in Jersey City. In total, DEP has funded over $10 million in hazardous discharge site remediation funds for the city. These projects include the Dr. Lena Francis Edwards Apartments, the former site of a dry cleaner and gas station, the former Frank B. Ross site at Ash and Witten Street, where an apartment building is currently being built, and contributions of over $7 million in HDSRF grants towards the investigation and cleanup actions at the Grand Jersey Brownfield redevelopment area. We are working hard to ensure that every New Jerseyan, and especially in our urban areas, can live, work, and play in a clean and healthy environment. And we can do it with the proper partnerships and collaboration, and we look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you.
All right. Again, thank you for coming out today. I guess this concludes, I don't think we're here for questions. We're just going to do a photo op.